Welcome, everybody. I'm Layne LaVanway, and you know what time it is. So sit back, relax, and let's talk about The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies. This review was bred for war. Okay, so I just recently got to go see The Hobbit, Battle of the Five Armies, and I just want to say I'm a fan of Lord of the Rings, and I am a fan of the other two Hobbit movies. I know that's a little strange, but some people aren't necessarily fans of the whole thing. It feels a little bloated. I do feel there is a little bit of bloat in it, and I am in the camp that this series, The Hobbit, should have only been 2 movies, but that's not what we got. We got 3 movies, and I just saw the 3rd movie, and now we're gonna talk about it. So, what did I like? It's beautiful! Of course it's beautiful. All of these movies are beautiful. They're shot wonderfully. Now, I want to say real quick that I did see it in 24 frames. I did not go for the high frame rate. So, these movies are all beautiful. We're seeing a mixture of the CGI and New Zealand and mixing different places in New Zealand together to form these areas, and the landscape is beautiful. The cinematography is beautiful. It's a magical place, Middle-earth is. So I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed Martin Freeman as Bilbo Baggins. I've enjoyed him the whole time, and I continue to enjoy him in this movie. He's definitely that character that makes you feel more like the everyman. You're that character. You're just a regular guy. You're not out there for war. You're off on an adventure of something you never expected, and all these events are happening, and you're just being dragged along, and you're sort of the moral center of the group, and that's sort of where you look to, and that's who we sort of follow, Bilbo. And I think Martin Freeman pulls it off beautifully. Now, I really like the fight scenes in this movie as well. You've got obviously the huge battle of the Five Armies, and you've got the big battle in the beginning with Smaug, and Peter Jackson really knows how to shoot a good battle scene. And obviously, you have the cliffhanger from the last one, the desolation of Smaug, leaving off with Smaug going to attack the town, so we start off this way with that. Now, that does feel a little bit strange, just because of the way to start a movie with this epic scene of the dragon coming down, and if you haven't watched the movie since it came out last year, that could be a little jarring, but it's beautifully shot. I love watching Smaug face off against Bard, and with his arrows, and you've got his family, he's trying to get his family out at the same time, he's hoping they survive. And then we get some other great scenes of fighting, and of course the Battle of the Five Armies is epic in scope of just the dwarves and the humans and the orcs and the eagles and the bats and all kinds, and they're coming together and they're clashing and fighting, and they're going through towns and up mountains and at the gates of the Lonely Mountain, and everything is just, it's big, it's fast paced, it's your crazy sword fights, and it's really good, and I like it. The soundtrack is, of course, amazing. I always love the soundtrack, and there's a great song at the end, during the credits, where you get Billy Boyd, who's singing, like, the ends credits song, and I didn't realize he did that, but when I heard the voice, I was like, that sounds kind of like Billy Boyd, is that him? I didn't remember his name at the time, I was like, it kind of sounds like Billy Boyd, is that him? And it was him, he stuck around, it said, and so I was like, oh, that's great, and I wanted to just sit and listen to that song, because I really liked it. There are, of course, a few things I didn't like about the movie. I didn't care much for a lot of what I felt like I was supposed to care about. So, Thorin in this one is obsessed to find the Arkenstone, and reminded me a lot, of course, of The Ring and Gollum. And he's becoming irrational, and everyone references that he has dragon sickness and how bad that can be for people, and the gold, and he's going into and making awful choices and decisions, and he's, all that kind of thing. And I just found myself not caring. I just thought he was kind of a jerk, and I didn't care, and I couldn't understand why the other dwarves would continue to follow him. They clearly weren't happy with his decisions, but they continue to follow him anyway. I also didn't care so much about the elf-dwarf relationship. That didn't do anything for me, and as things progress in the movie and things get more dramatic between that relationship and hard for them, I didn't find myself caring. Now, they wrapped all of that up very well. Watching Thorin and watching these plot lines that were set up in the other 2 movies came together very nicely. I wanted to know what happens there, what happens there, what happens there. Let's put it all up, wrap it in a bow. Problem is, I personally didn't care about a lot of the ribbons that were used to wrap that package. And I noticed it distinctly sitting there with my wife watching the movie, and I kept leaning over and making funny comments or things like that, because, at least I thought they were funny, because I just wasn't quite as sucked in. Even as sucked in as I felt like I was in the previous Hobbit movies. Just didn't quite grab me as much, even though I was visually enjoying it and the spectacle of it. Also, a weird thing is, the Smaug fight is very quick. It's in the beginning, but it takes up a very small portion of the movie. Now, this is the shortest of the movies. It's only about 2 hours and 20-ish minutes or so, and it doesn't feel like a long sit. So Smaug's bit in that is like 10, 15 minutes, and that's the whole thing right off in the beginning, so that seems a little strange. To me, more like they should have kept it too, because the desolation of Smaug should have been the desolation of Smaug. And I get this is the Battle of the Five Armies, and so that was the main focus, not Smaug, but it seems like a cash grab in a sense of a way to, if we don't kill Smaug in the second one, then we wait to save him for the third one. It'll be a draw for people to come in and watch that battle. We'll get people to come into the seats just to watch that battle. Feels a little cheap to me, because you feel like it should have been bigger. I mean, Stephen Colbert just did an interview during his last few episodes with Smaug. Smaug came to his set, smashed everything, did an interview, and only to be in for like that 10, 15 minutes or something. I don't know. I enjoyed the battle immensely. The Smaug is great, and Benedict Cumberbatch is the voice of Smaug is fantastic, but I, again, just wasn't caring. Or I was caring, but I was a little upset. It just felt so fast. I also felt like they could have gotten rid of a lot of the plot lines that I guess weren't in the original book. It's been a long time since I read them, but they were in the extras, the appendices and stuff. But a lot of the stuff with Gandalf going off and the Necromancer and stuff like that didn't really have a major impact in the movie in any way, and what happens with the dwarves and with Bilbo, with the elves and the Battle of the Five Armies. A lot of that, you didn't need any of that. Most of all you found that happened, because plot points from that, was that they knew armies were coming of orcs. But a lot of that just felt unnecessary, though you do get a cool moment where they banish the Necromancer to the east, and, now they know who's going to have Cate Blanchett's character uses, I think, her ring of power, and banishes the Necromancer to the east, and now you know why the power is going to be coming from the east later, no longer the rings, we're going to build on his power. Okay, so I would definitely... You have to see this movie in the theaters. I think it'll hold up far better in the theaters. I recommend this is a big epic scale movie. And these big epic scale movies really are more appreciated when you see them on the big screen. And so I highly recommend you go see this on the big screen. Now I'm going to change what I've been doing I've been doing thumbs up, thumbs down, half thumbs, whatever. I'm going to go to something more official. I'm going to go to an A, B, C, D, F. And I would give Hobbit's Battle of the Five Armies a B. That's right, a B. It's thoroughly enjoyable. I'm going to buy it to complete my collection. I'd like to watch it again and just get my feel of it, see if it feels different to me, knowing what's going to happen, if I find myself caring at all for some of the characters and they're not jerks or just not interested in any kind of romance between certain characters. And I'll be interested to see for that. So I will buy it. And again, I recommend you see it, if you can, in the theater. This is a big movie experience, so go check it out. Alright, we're going here at Cine-Love, and I'd like you to check out our new show. We've got Psych Flicks, several episodes out. Every Friday there's a new episode of Psych Flicks, where we take new and popular movies and analyze them from a psychological perspective, generally focusing on just one character and worming our ways into that character's head so you can get a better understanding of that character and why you love or hate them. And that's why Jess Willens does that every week, and check that out. Plus, we've always got movie reviews. I've not seen a few movies recently, and so I haven't gotten as many reviews, but I'm hoping to change that and get back on track and focus on the channel, get some more movie reviews. And of course, I've been doing these Constantine episodes. Constantine's on hiatus at the moment of this. As soon as it comes back, we'll be doing more of those after-show episodes. And so you can follow me on Twitter at Layne LaVanway, and you can check me out on Google+. All the links are below. Check out. Make sure you hit like on this video. Let me know that you like the escort. Let me know that you liked the content. I've got this new thing up here. I found that home cinema always showing. I thought that was really cool. We were at the store, and my wife spotted it, and was like, oh, look! And we went and got it, and I'm super excited for it. And so make sure you hit subscribe so you're aware of all the content that I have coming out on the channel. I've got some new ideas for some new shows. Psych Flicks was the first of one of those new shows, and I have another idea, yay, for a new show on the channel to try to keep up with on a more regular schedule type show rather than just reviews that come out as I watch the movies. Alright, thanks for watching, guys, and until next time, watch more movies.